This is the week to follow your curiosity, your excitement, and wherever your heart is leading you to explore. It's time to get to know yourself on a deeper level, to embrace changes that are coming in your relationships, and also to find new ways of joy, excitement, and simply expression in your everyday life. Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to this week's weekly energy reading for the week of May 20th through the 26th. This week is about curiosity, and I want to very briefly explain the thumbnail's title or heading, Curiosity Brings More Cats. So it comes from the idiom or the saying, curiosity killed the cat, which is about being nosy or too curious in other people's affairs or something that does not concern you. But this week, it really pays to lead with that because I feel like it's going to open new doors, new avenues, and unexplored facets that you may not have considered before. It's also going to perhaps allow you to shake things up in your own life, to learn more about yourself, and also bring in elements of excitement and adventure that help you grow too in new ways. How is everyone doing so far? I can't believe I feel like we're rushing. I feel like we're on a train, a roller coaster of 2024, and we just stopped. That's what it feels like. Comment down below. I'd love to hear how this year, how this season is going for you. Happy birthday to all my Geminis. First week of Gemini. I hope everything is going well for you. Let's get started and dive into the astrology. Reminders, all times are in Eastern Standard Time, New York City time for reference. Guys, Gemini energy is revving up this week. I feel like we are going to be more socially inclined, maybe busier, more communicative. We may be feeling like things are shifting even faster with this air energy, and especially things may be going back and forth quickly. On the 20th of May, the sun enters Gemini. Did you feel this energetic shift? It's a bit of a pickup. And I feel like the sun here lends to something or more of an archetype of extroversion, of social togetherness, connectedness. I'm even getting flustered here. Airy, mental. There's a more expressive vibe here of wanting to connect, communicate, ponder, dive deep, learn, but not so much consolidate that energy in one space. More explore what is calling to you at moment's notice. Very spontaneous energy. Very open, dual, flexible. So we're dealing with a lot of the mutable double-bodied energy in this season, which with the sun in Gemini, and naturally as more planets join Gemini, we'll feel that. And we may be feeling, oh, this sounds great, and then change our minds, or thinking, yes, I'd love to explore this, and be open to a lot of things coming in. But I feel like the beauty of Gemini is it reminds us of the changing nature of life and the ability to pivot quickly, perhaps almost magically, through some of these tides, through some of these changes that come in, maybe perhaps unexpectedly. This is a great time to expand your knowledge, your mind, learning, because Mercury rules over these themes, expression and communication. Also, anything you're curious about or something that has been calling to you, that's a great time to start simply exploring what that means for you, doing more research or studying or learning more about it. Great time to connect with social groups, I'll tell you, and communities, and expand your ways of connecting to folks. So for people that like to do networking events, this is a perfect opportunity where you meet a lot of people in short times, or maybe take the time to try something new based on what is calling to you, where your interests are telling you, hey, let's check this out. This is also a great time to try out new things, but also meet other people while you're doing that, and to connect and get to know people. I also feel because Gemini is youthful and its ruler Mercury rules over youth and children, pay attention to the children in your life and any youth in your environment, because you may get special messages from them or a different form of understanding that you may not have before. This could be anyone. Children that you see on TV, maybe children's books, your children, other people's children. Obviously don't come up to them or do anything, but you get what I'm saying. Expanding your social and intellectual awareness and try something new is something that I feel is beneficial during this season. because of the focus on mercurial themes. You could also, this would be a great time for anyone with financial situations wanting to update or revamp their budget or set up some type of structure for their money, maybe look into investments. Same thing with traveling. If you want to book a bunch of trips or explore or research, perfect time to do that. And also to take trips or to explore your natural surroundings. I think of it like buffet season because I always get bumblebee energy with a lot of strong Gemini energy. And with the sun in Gemini, this is your ability to kind of taste test, not necessarily with our tongue, but taste test different things that are calling to you and what you would like to try, and maybe see what works, what doesn't, what can I continue, because you may end up saying, oh, I thought it was going to be different, but I don't want to do this, or I enjoyed this and it wasn't something I expected. And that's the beauty of the energy with Gemini. On May 22nd, the sun in Gemini forms a trine to Pluto, currently retrograde in Aquarius. So here, Pluto forms a superior trine to the sun, and this is about really diving into the unknown and a great opportunity, I should say, for learning more about taboo topics or topics that you have been interested in or have been calling to you, like occult, astrology, divination, anything that requires intellectual stamina and depth, because I feel like you will find not only greater enjoyment and pleasure, but also be able to remember this material well. I also feel like this will allow you, for those that are simply open and interested in something that's calling to them. So say you're interested in cooking. It doesn't have to be about occult topics, right? Say you're interested in cooking. Perfect time to maybe borrow a bunch of library books on different recipes or different themes that interest you, or to try out a cooking class and to see what do you like and what don't you like. Maybe you prefer baking instead of cooking savory dishes, or you like a certain type of cuisine. This is where this energy is going at. And you can learn so much about what you would like to continue implementing in your life, but also say, you know what, for so long I thought I was going to love making fried chicken, and I realize it's messy and I don't want to do it. So there's a lot of beautiful energy here that allows you to simply go with the flow and pivot, but take this opportunity to be intentional with what it is that you do want to explore. I feel like some of you are also going to find a lot of new streams of learning that interest you, or things that, or skills that you may want to cultivate. Here too, you could also focus on different mercurial related skills or anything you're currently studying, say public speaking. It could be writing, banking, geometry, or mathematics is one that could really support you at this time. On May 23rd, Venus conjoins Jupiter, both in Uranus. So this is another lucky alignment here. And you know what's interesting? I kept seeing that lucky cat, the one that does this. I think it's called, I noted it here, Maneki Neko, and it's considered a lucky cat in many Asian cultures. And apparently the right paw signifies luck, good fortune, abundance, money. So I feel like for so many people, these are some themes that may be present for you, but it's also a beautiful alignment of harmony and cooperation surrounding these themes. Jupiter and Venus share a lot of the similar themes or significations, because Jupiter tends to be more macro level, or you could say higher, more spiritual. Venus is more earthly, mundane, day-to-day, micro level. So many of them have very overlapping themes around love, desire, abundance, finances, wisdom, spirituality, passion, some indulgence here too with Venus and Jupiter, because both Venus loves luxurious, loves indulgence, love being loved upon, and Jupiter enjoys having a good time too. I also kept seeing new relationships. So during this time, some of you may expand your friend groups or strengthen certain groups, but I get a lot of new relationships, new romances too blossoming, or some potential, if you've been in a relationship with someone you've known for a while, say a friend, and that could potentially blossom as well. I feel like this is a great opportunity for social enjoyment and outings. There could be also two lucky opportunities with finances in terms of gambling, payouts, bonuses, unexpected money, and support. So always trust yourself and your intuition. This is not financial advice, but I feel like with this energy, Jupiterian and Venus themes are really being highlighted here, and how they are delineated in your own chart is going to give you a better key of what's being pinged and activated and what could come in, particularly the house and any aspects the planets make or where the ruler is located as well. On May 23rd as well, Venus in Taurus forms a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. I heard loudly when I was sitting with these dreams by heart. It's that 80s group, and I'll link the video down below. Again, I don't get paid, just so you can listen to it if you want. And I got that your dreams are speaking to you right now, so pay attention, especially with these alignments. A lot of dreamy, loving, spiritual oneness type of energy happening. I call it strong love bubble energy, romance, creativity, beauty. You may also be feeling magnetized or feeling magnetic pull towards different things or people. This alignment in particular is great for amazing solo or partner date energy. Just simply enjoying time with yourself or with others and feeling that connection, feeling into that connection and expressing yourself. You may also feel a strong inclination to update your home, anything having to do with these themes, Venusian or Neptunian. I would say changing things out. You could focus on your appearance, textiles, touch, sensory, also emotional too. Talking with a trusted friend, it could be a female too, but anyone that's nurturing. And caution here, because of the Venusian and Neptunian energy. Caution here with any delusions about things you want to see but that aren't really there. That's going to be key there, about trusting what you feel, and also with the logical part of our brain seeing, well, okay, I'm trusting this. Am I seeing things actually materialize in that way in my reality? So if someone says something, do their words match their action? In other words. On May 23rd as well, we have the full moon in Gemini. So, full moon in Sagittarius. So this is it's a packed day, it's a packed week. So all the energetic alignments to this point have been focused on drawing you forward toward what feels true for you right now. And this lunation is very existential, something I mentioned with the new moon in Taurus, because there are a lot of connected energies coming through. And it's asking us here to connect to something more meaningful that guides us to what we're doing. So it could be something more spiritual, something like a philosophy or belief, or even our core values. And we have an opposition here with obviously the sun and the moon, which forms a full moon, but also we have third party with Pluto here at 2 degrees too, offering support. And I feel like Pluto is going to be key here, because when you dive into what is your truth, what is genuine and authentic for you, you will let go of anything that doesn't support you or that doesn't allow you to move forward. And it'll naturally align to what you desire, but you got to release and say, nope, that's not it. Nope, nope, and keep going. And Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus, all in Taurus, form an inferior sextile to Neptune and Pisces. So you got to do you, I should say, no matter what other people think, say, or project onto you. And that's key with Pluto in the mix here with the sun and the moon, which can feel scary because we're releasing a lot here, how other people define us and what other people define purpose, meaning, or even success for ourselves. And sometimes we've gone along with other people's definitions. So I feel like this lunation is really going to change people's viewpoints. It's like taking another pair of glasses and putting them on, and you're seeing a completely new world. Again, on the 23rd, Venus enters Gemini. Busy day. Venus is all about relationships, love, harmony, beauty, cooperation, women, sisterhood, joy, and so much more. So Gemini, Venus in Gemini, we may feel inclined to form new friendships, because I feel like there's more of a platonic energy here, and be curious. It's not a committal energy because of the nature of Gemini and its natural ruler. And there may be a strong emphasis here on platonic connections, where we may feel the need to invest and connect more to our friends and our communities, invest into the different groups that we're in and where our curiosities are leading us, And also, we may find love or a deep friend bond in existing relationships too. That came through big time. Sometimes when you are in that process or moment, you may not see someone in that light. I'm like, I was going to say you may not see someone for who they are. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. You may not see someone as a potential love interest, or you may not consider someone that you considered an acquaintance a potential friend or a deeper type of friend, right? And I feel like this energy, you may realize, wow, things may change. But there's a lot of playful, intelligent, socializing, flirtiness happening here, very inquisitive Venus. And I feel like she may enjoy simply entertaining or connecting to a variety of different folks at this time and sharing her love in that way. And I'm saying this PG, not rated R. This is also the energy to try new things. I want to say that it came through, romantic or platonic. So if you're someone that generally goes out with your friends to the movies, or you do the same old thing, great opportunity to do new things. Maybe do an art class together, or a dining and clay class, or whatever. Creating your own candle in the pool. I'm making things up right now, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Also romantically, do something different. I can feel and sense with Venus and Gemini, maybe going to a bookstore, going to what are they called? Like a sex shop, or learning new things, especially more intellectual. So maybe getting a poetry of love, or book of poetry on love, or romance, or things like that. So do something different, because you can capitalize on this energy in a very beautiful way. I also got trampolining, doing things like little kids do, because Gemini does rule over youth. And in Venus, you may want to say to your friends, or even your partner or family, or whomever you're spending time with, let's go out to the playground, let's trampoline, let's do things you haven't done, but that maybe your inner child would like to do. A lot of bumblebee energy here too. So some folks will be experiencing, or experimenting, I should say, in love. So if you're dating, this could be a great time to simply try out different dates, see how they go, and not commit yourself to any one person, and just say, you know what, I'm going to have fun. That's my intention, and I'm going to see what works, what doesn't, and what comes out of it. Also, different types of relationships came up. Casual relationships, non-committal, something just to be aware of. Overall, I feel like with Venus and Gemini, it's a great time to devote your time and energy finding joy and expanding your awareness, your curiosity, things you haven't tried before, and your knowledge. Okie dokes. On May the 25th, Venus in Gemini trines Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So this is just a snippet, I feel, that of what you'll experience. That's part of a longer Pluto in Aquarius saga that'll obviously continue for the next 20 or so years. And there's a lot of transformation here and intensity in relationships and how we love ourselves, and themes concerning our style, beauty, and appearance. And with Venus and Gemini, I feel like there could be changing ways of love. Do I want to be in a monogamous? Do I want to be in a monogamous relationships? I feel like I'm having trouble pronouncing these words. Do I still want to be in this relationship? Has my definition of love changed? Can love mean something different for me? Does romance, can I look at that differently? Can I get it from other ways? There's a whole introspection process here on what that means for you. And for some folks, because I got a lot of finding love in all the wrong places is going to happen, which is not what you may expect. So you may have been looking for love. Think about where you look for romantic love, if that's what you're doing right now. If you're looking for a romantic partner or wanting to simply connect with someone else on that level, think of all the ways you usually look for someone. This alignment may say it's time to do things differently. Finding love in all the wrong places. What other places can you consider that you haven't? Maybe going to an open mic night, a comedy club, a poetry reading, dining out alone and seeing what comes of it, or trying out something different that you haven't. I'm not saying, go out to a toxic place where you could get harmed. Not at all. That's not what I meant. I also feel like loving in new ways is going to come up. Because sometimes people are interested. This brings in the theme of asexuality, which again is beyond the theme of this video, but I got that channeled, asexuality, finding love in platonic or friendship groups and saying, you know what, I don't really want to do that traditional or maybe way of love that I defined. I want to do it differently. I could see that happening, and there's a lot of thinking going on until perhaps Pluto stations direct in October. So I got Golden Girl energy. For any of you that may have watched the Golden Girls, and I know it was translated into many languages around the world, they were a group of 4 older adults, you could say senior citizens, and they lived together in Miami. And 3 of them were close to age, close to a similar age, and the 4th one was the mother of one of the ladies. And they all became roommates, and they all forged a friendship, a very deep bond. And in the finale, one of them left because she got married. But that's another type of Venus and Gemini, I feel, of love, of how people are structuring the next season of our life. Some people are like, I don't want to get married again or get into that type of partnership. But people are like, yeah, I would love to connect deeper, maybe with my family or with a group of women or men, depending on, what you prefer. So I feel like there's going to be an internal introspective reflection happening about all of these themes that I just mentioned and what that means, how we communicate in relationships too, how we show love, because Venus and Gemini, I feel it's more about an intellectual, social type of love, words of affirmation perhaps, maybe exploring things together, like attending different learning workshops, cooking, trying new things, and that's how you may maintain that form of friendship or love or tie. On the 25th as well, Jupiter ingresses into Gemini, its detriment. And this is another biggie, and I'm going to do a separate video, but what I'll say here is Jupiter is leaving Taurus after a year and heading into an airy double-body Gemini. So it's in detriment here briefly because Jupiter is about overcoming the darkness, because Jupiter is a traditional ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces, where light starts to increase. And light symbolically represents yang or masculine energy. It's assertive, action-oriented. There's a power and dominance over it. It's like love conquers all type of energy. Light conquers evil or darkness. With Mercury here, we see the deconstruction of light and naturally deconstruction. And Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo, the signs of its detriment. Excuse me, these are its home rulers. I don't know why I said the signs of its detriment. Jupiter may not want to seek power in any way when it's in Gemini here, because it's more diffused. And there's more of an ability of not wanting to consolidate all of its power, all of its energy into one thing, like a finale. And there's a lot of change that occurs, a lot of mutability, changeability, flexibility. So instead of consolidating all of your intellectual strength in one area, I feel like because the curious nature of Gemini is very diffused, it goes outwards in different ways, Jupiter may be like that. That's why I feel the detriment, its condition, is being highlighted. So you may find yourself exploring a lot of different themes. Again, take a look at where Gemini rules in your in your natal chart, which house it rules. You may find yourself exploring a lot of different areas and learning for the sake of learning and asking questions and simply pondering with that. It's almost like intellectuals coming to coffee together with cigars and they're just talking about life, but there's no like end game. They're just talking. But you're not necessarily consolidating that knowledge into one area and concretizing it to something tangible that you can turn into and say, okay, I'm done. Got a degree here, or just an example. I also kept seeing Lego sets. Gemini is very much building them and then taking them apart and then building them, and sometimes you'll see them scattered. So you may find that you enjoy fascinating conversations and then you leave when the coffee is done, similar to what I just told you about the intellectuals, but you don't have anything to show for it. It's the mere process itself of enjoying that social cohesion, that connection, that stimulation intellectually, the ability to ponder and ask more questions and realize I didn't get an answer to this question. It just led to another question. And with Jupiter about growth, expansion, and abundance, it could just be a rabbit hole. There's a rabbit hole energy here for the sake of the rabbit. Excuse me, we're going down a rabbit hole here for the whole sake, not the rabbit. So the rabbit will never get to the bottom here, because I feel like Jupiter and Gemini will forever want to keep exploring, not just to necessarily do something about it. They just want to know. It's the energy of knowing in that process. So I could see a lot of changes in friendships and platonic circles, communications, financial matters, wisdom, intelligence, learning, and more. So I'm going to do something separate on that. Coming up on May 31st, Mercury conjoins Uranus in Taurus. Let's get some messages. I feel like there's a lot with Gemini. It's been packed. Ooh, there's something in my mouth. It's been packed. And I feel like there's so much happening quickly. What messages do we need to know for this week? I have here for the golden nuggets. They're just mini snippets for weekly themes. Finding meaning in our truth, exploring changes in relationships, love, and joy, and diving deeper into what interests us. I feel like the platter Gemini is offering us is the ability to see where we can grow next by offering us all of this. Okay, we got 3 of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, and 6 of Discs, Earth, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So if there's any imbalance in your life, particularly with relationships here, or even communication, how you express yourself, I feel like that's going to fall apart. You could say Mercury is going to deconstruct it. You may be already feeling it. This also has to do with the 3 of Swords. Any wounds, traumas, grief coming up, there may be some type of literally settlement related to it. So there may be some type of conclusion, some type of acceptance or reckoning, or simply saying, you know what, I feel like that part of myself I've healed. And I feel like this is something that no longer brings about maybe negative memories or anything that I've been trying to repress or push down. I feel like it's opening up. This is also an ability to bring in more balance in your life. If you're feeling with the 3 of Swords in particular, if you're feeling like that has caused too much instability in your life, which is something to be careful of with the Gemini energy, of diffusing your energy very quickly or allowing it to be spent maybe in different areas, it can leave you feeling a little bit drained, a little bit tired, overworked, or like you've given too much of yourself. So I can see that, especially with the 6 of Coins here, which are pentacles, or they could be earth, discs, coins, pentacles. There's a sense of needing to step back to invest in yourself too, because if you're someone that gives a lot and doesn't receive, this could also be cluing you in this week about changes that need to be made. I feel like some of you are going to leave relationships. I'm keeping it very general, any type of relationship, or a belief system underlying these relationships, or how you navigate like peopling or working with people or interrelating with people, that is not reciprocal anymore, where you are either an overgiver. Generally, the people that I'm tapping into are generally overgivers. You either overgive and someone takes too much. I feel like many of you are going to reclaim that for you and invest that. Some of you are learning to receive. Bottom, we have 5 of Discs. Ace of Discs. A lot of disc earth energy coming through. Duality. Total Mercury wedged its way into this deck. Total Gemini energy here. The Lovers. This is Gemini energy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not going to go any further. I'll just say I feel like these themes revolve around relationships this week, where some of you are breaking patterns. Definitively, like this is it. You've come to that point where you realize that you've broken a pattern, you've healed this aspect of yourself, and you no longer need to burden yourself in this way, perhaps by entertaining certain patterns, certain energies, people that maybe weren't aligned to your values, to your truth. And also figuring out for you What is your truth? I'm going to pull one Work Your Way oracle, and we'll wrap this up. Okay. Share your voice, of course. I kid you not, with all these synchronicities. Of course, as all this energy goes into Gemini. Share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution, expression. If this pertains to relationships, some of you may have felt like you were silenced or weren't able to communicate your truth, or you were dealing with emotionally unavailable people. That's one of the worst heartbreaks, is when you put in all your eggs in that relationship, all your eggs in the basket. In other words, you put in everything you've got, and you bring your full self, and you realize that the other person you're dealing with, and this could be in a friendship too, you guys, is not available. They can't meet you where you're at. It doesn't matter. And it has nothing to do with you. That's the thing. There's an equal energy here that's being called. Like, it's your time to receive. So I feel like for some of you, stepping aside from these patterns is going to make you realize that, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, there's grief. It sucks. But you've healed this, and you've become aware, and you know this. But it also means, too, allowing yourself to share more of who you are. A lot of throat chakra energy, I feel, that's going to come up naturally with Gemini during this time, during the season. So any of you that have been hiding, and I feel like, when was it, last week or the week before? I don't remember. A message about people, if you're wanting to be seen, like do YouTube, do a blog, or anything like that, expressive, creative, sharing your story, sharing a skill, knowledge, whatever it is. This is a beautiful opportunity to do that. And there's fear when you first start it. Trust me. Trust me, there's a lot. But when you take steps and just do it, it's very healing. It's a very healing process in itself. And a lot of this means taking time out for yourself. Because a lot of the reflections that you may want to share with others may mean taking time for yourself to think about what that looks like and what that feels like. And I feel like that's the beauty of the Gemini energy too, because you may find a lot of catharsis and a lot of additional healing from this energy by going into yourself. This could mean going out into nature, Mother Earth, connecting to different things that bring you peace, enjoyment, that allow you to introspect and reflect. Because a lot of times from our healing, from our pain, from our hardships, that's where our voice comes out and we gain strength little by little. I hope this reading has helped everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here again. I would love to hear any comments, thoughts. Just let me know how you're doing. How is the season treating you? Otherwise, I'm grateful. Thank you for your community, for your love, for your support. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the week. I'll see you soon.